Hello everyone, my name is Perry. This is episode 89 of BPerryFilms Podcast. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough tutorial on how to use Cécred's hair care line, the protective collection. This is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be detangling my hair using these two products right here, the Detangling Spray and the Refreshing Spray. I have used this and let me tell you, it feels so good on the scalp. Let me tell you, and it's really good for takedown and also to relieve that itchiness that you have. And then also for people who wear braids, wigs, or any styles that require you to like sew or braid or anything like that. This is good for getting rid of any nicks and tangles that are in there, and it has a nice minty smell. So I'm excited to use this for the first time. And I'm going to be using the other hair care products like the scalp balm. As many of you have seen me on Instagram and TikTok, I showed you how I use the hair balm on my beard and mustache to keep it down. I'm going to be timing this real quick, how long it's going to take for me to unbraid one of my braids, and I'll just add a couple seconds on. Let me just braid it back real quick so we can just time it of how long it takes to unbraid. And then we'll do one with the spray and one without the spray. Well, the rest without the spray, and see how long it takes. I think roughly it takes me about 30 minutes to unbraid maybe 12 braids. And when I have singles, it's probably like about an hour, if not more, because I have about 40 or 50 braids in. But we're gonna see how long it takes. I'm gonna start my stopwatch. Make sure I have my do not disturb on, just in case someone tries to call. Got that on. And we're gonna start the timer right here. And some products I'm gonna be using for tools is a Cécred wide tooth comb, and then also the parting tail comb. This is good for combing out knots and getting these braids out. So I'm gonna time how long it's gonna take for me to use just this comb and take down these braids. My hair is pretty soft, so it shouldn't take too long, so we'll see. I think it should take about a minute. And we'll see how much shedding that I get from this detangling. Right now we have 15 seconds on the clock. Getting through really fast. Me personally, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll probably be skipping through some of this stuff. And I don't want to bore you with the wash shave routine as well. So I'm just gonna specifically just go over so this took roughly 50 seconds to unbraid. So that was not long, and I only had this much shedding. So that did good. I'm just gonna go with the comb real quick, see if I get any tangles or anything. Like I said, just a little bit of shedding, as you can see right here. And I'm wearing this t-shirt right here from the Formation tour. That was the last tour that I went on to see Beyonce. I think it was the best tour that I have ever seen. Or, yeah, I have seen 3. Mrs. Carter World Tour, On the Run Tour Part 1, and the Formation Tour, and I think this one was the best one. The World Tour, Formation World Tour. So yeah, I'm going to try it with the Detangling Spray. So right here, you're gonna unlock it. Smells good. And I'm going to time this. I did about 5 spritz. Let's see how long it takes. See how long. And the purpose of this product is to help reduce with shedding, make sure that your hair is nice and moisturized, because of one thing about wearing these styles for a long period of time, it makes your hair really dull, more frizzy, and prone to breakage. So it's important for us to make sure that we're doing anything that's possible to help reduce the amount of shedding that we may have. And I like the minty smell. It smells really good. I think I'm going to use the scalp refreshing spray at the very end when I take out all the braids. And that took about 40 seconds. And we're going to see how much tangling any strands come out. So this is how much came out of this braid right here versus right here. So as you can see, with the spray versus without the spray. So a little bit less. I don't think I'm gonna have that much shedding because I haven't had my braids in too long, just about 2 weeks. But I'm going to go through each braid. I'm probably gonna spray some of them in advance so I can save some time, and I'm gonna time this. And my rough estimate is that this is gonna take about 20 minutes to do, and let's see if I can make it to my goal. So I'm gonna do a couple braids at once. Start the timer. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna keep on the same shirt so you can, because I don't really, well, I'm not gonna say I don't care for the shirt, but when I do my wash day, especially with a hot oil treatment, I don't want it to stain up a really good shirt. And since this is black, you can't really see any stains, and it will be easier to wash. So just keep it that way. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna wake up at 7 o'clock and I'm gonna try the hot oil treatment. So how I'm gonna end up reducing heat and being underneath the blow dryer, because I don't wanna experience heat damage. I'm going to boil the vessel that it comes with. I think if you get it separate from the bundle, it's about $10, but it has measurements, and I'm going to put about 1 ounce of fluid in there of the oil, and I'm gonna warm it up for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna let it sit for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes to make sure it's not scorching hot when it touches my hair. And I'm gonna distribute it through my scalp and through my strands. I'm getting through this really quickly. And then I'm gonna go in with the detoxifying shampoo. And this is supposed to be a little bit different from the clarifying shampoo, and I'm gonna see how I'm gonna fit this into my hair wash days, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep continuing with the clarifying shampoo, probably 3 washes and then the detoxifying shampoo here and there, or if I might do the detoxifying shampoo more often and then doing the clarifying shampoo when I feel like I just need a scalp refresh. The purpose of the detoxifying shampoo is to help get rid of buildup, all the gunk, and all the oils that may be stuck on your strands and on your scalp. And it helps clean up all the dirt. And I like the fact that it comes in this like purplish blue tint that matches the bottle. So far I have unloosened about 5 braids, and here's the shedding right here. And I'm at 5 minutes and I have about 7 more braids left to go. I'm gonna do like before. Want to make sure that your hair is lubricated. So yeah, if you want to see some of my other previous Cécred wash shades and reviews, you can check out on my YouTube channel. And I do have some shorts on my TikTok and Instagram, so you can dive deep into those. And I'm loving Cécred so far. Like anything that can help me grow out my hair, because my focus is length retention and reducing amount of shedding, because I already have a healthy scalp. So I think next they should focus on heat protectants, because I just don't understand why this hair care line that uses a lot of heat between blow drying and being underneath a steamer and stuff, you would think that they would have heat protectants. Instead, I use Olaplex number 7 bonding oil, which I don't mind because it helps with repairing bonds. But if they end up coming with something that helps reduce frizz, heat protectant up to 450, even though I don't go over 360, can't beat that. I try to use as little heat as possible. I'm partnered with Tymo. I have some tutorials on how I use the air hype and the airflow, but for the air hype, I keep it at 140 at medium heat, and I use it with a hood and dryer for the deep conditioner. I use it with a hooded dryer that's portable, and I just hook it up to that, and I deep condition my hair for maybe about 15 minutes at most. I don't think I ever made it past 15 minutes, but after that I rinse it out. And then if I'm gonna do a silk press, I make sure that the hair is like completely dry to the max, because nothing's like fried hair, and you do not want your hair falling out as soon as you press it out. And a question that many people may ask me is, how long do I keep in my braids? And I want to say roughly 2 weeks if they're cornrows or twists or something like that. Now, if they're singles with my own hair, I try not to go over 2.5, 3 weeks. And that's when I know I definitely need a deep condition. And yeah, I think what made me most excited about this hair care line is that I've been always asking for it. And I like that it caters to many people who have different hair issues. And it's really focused on hydration. And I feel like as a person who has an oily scalp, I think it's important to make sure that I have enough moisture to help reduce the amount of oils that I'm producing, and making sure that my strands stay hydrated and nice and clean. So we're at 10 minutes now. might actually beat my time that I thought it was gonna take. If you don't believe me, here's the timer right here. I have about 4 more braids left. These products really work, so I highly recommend. And for those of you who haven't been following me on this new channel, I have a lot of hair content on top of my entrepreneurship content, because I always had a passion for hair, repairing people's scalps, education around how to protect our strands, and reducing the amount of shedding that we can. I think there's like different stages that we all go through with our hair journey, and most people are focused on length retention when the main issues that people have is that they don't have healthy scalps. And how do you determine if you have a healthy scalp is how fast your hair dries or how it breaks off. Is it breaking off at the ends or is it breaking off in the root? And that will let you know if you're experiencing any type of damage, whether it's heat damage, chemical damage, or manipulation type of damage. And people forget about manipulation because most people wear extensions, wigs, and all these other things that pull on your strands all the time. And like I said, we end up taking our hair for granted because we have these adhesives that make us look good for the moment, but at the end of the day, you still have to go back to your strands. I sprayed the rest of the hair. Right now we are at 11 minutes. I'm gonna have a little bit of voiceover on these clips. Like I said, I don't want to make the video too long. My goal is to make it maybe 20 minutes long, if even that. And I'll try to walk through all the steps as quickly as possible without leaving out any good details. It smells so good. I can't wait to use these products on my clients as well. But me personally, I like to get them separate items so I can see how many uses I can get out of this. And as I can see right here, it was at the top and the bottle is right here now. And I sprayed all my hair and all I'm gonna be using. So I can imagine this bottle being used for at least 6 months in my use. I think my next hairstyle after this one right here that I'm getting done tomorrow is probably singles. And I'll get my hair some chance to relax. And you're probably thinking, didn't you just have a silk press? Wasn't your hair just relaxing? Well, sometimes I like to give my hair some more time to like just breathe and relax and do its own thing. What I like about singles is that it's very versatile. I can wear it up, I can wear it down. I can do just about anything I want, kind of like a silk press, but not having to deal with humidity and all those things that stress your hair out. Because just imagine having to take cold showers just to not get your hair to like frizz up. I've been using Color Wow Extra Strength, and that's good for people who want to wear their hair straight. Don't worry, it's like a keratin treatment, but it doesn't penetrate through the strands. So your hair can still get curly or wavy, whatever texture it is, but it doesn't stress out your texture like a traditional keratin treatment or the Japanese treatment, which keeps your hair straight for numerous length of time. I think your strands that you grow in are your normal texture, but when when your natural hair, you should embrace it. Let it do its thing, because I think so many people have the standard of my hair has to be straight. It has to do everything that it naturally doesn't do. Because I have met some people who have naturally straight hair and they get perms to get their hair curly because they feel like they can't wear braids, they can't curl their hair, and it won't last that long. But at the end of the day, every hair has its pros and its cons. Every hair texture has its pros and cons. There's about how many textures? 15 different textures, from type 1 to type 2A to C, type A, 3A to type C, and then 4A to type C. And then I even came up with an interesting one called type 5, where some people don't have textures. And not that you can't feel the hair, but the way that it performs, it's not like, if it's supposed to be curly, it's like dead straight, or it just won't bend. And it kind of reminds you of damaged hair. So I like for some people to just identify in that class. And sometimes when I help people identify that they might be in type 5, they're just like, okay, how do I treat it? And like I said, everything starts at the scalp. If you do not have a healthy scalp, it's just like a healthy mind, healthy body. It's all about what you put into your body. Are you getting enough nutrients? Are you making sure that you're eating enough foods? Are you taking the right vitamins in different categories? Are you getting enough sunlight? Are you exercising? Are you making sure that you're detangling your hair before you do anything else? What are you putting in your hair every night or every other night? Are you manipulating your hair a lot, like touching it? Are you putting a lot of gels and greases and stuff that's clogging up your pores and making your hair stiff just for this kind of look and style? But here is how much shedding that I was able to take out. Now I'm gonna go in with the scalp refresher spray. I'm gonna take off my glasses real quick so I don't get any water in it. And everything is water-based. I wouldn't use this hair care line if the products weren't water-based. But I just want to make sure that I got every strand. And here is how long it took. Roughly 17 minutes. I'm gonna subtract 20 seconds because I did stop a couple of times. So yeah, I met my goal. Usually it would take me about a half an hour, 25 minutes to half an hour to take out these 12 braids, and roughly about an hour to take out my singles when I have a lot of them. Okay, so now we have the scalp refreshing spray. I apply this directly to the scalp, and I like that there's a nozzle. So let me make sure I separate this so you can see that I'm applying it to each section. And I'm going in with the wide tooth comb, just parting through each section. These products will be available in Ulta in the next couple of days. So I'm going to be excited to see how everyone uses these products in their regular routine. I think before I even bought the bundle, I was thinking of just getting the scalp refreshing spray because I know wearing braids, my hair gets itchy sometimes. Yes, the strands do, and sometimes my scalp. And I don't want to scratch because that could cause breakage as well. I wanted to get the hair and scalp balm because it looks like a grease and it performs like a grease, but it's an oil. And for most people that don't know me, I use oil to lubricate my scalp. I don't really use grease, only because I feel like it blocks up my pores, and some people may disagree. But I prefer oil, and it has helped me grow my hair a lot stronger. That and a mixture of the fermented and rice water treatment with a deep conditioner. But I feel like a lot of people don't wash their hair really well, so they end up feeling like there's a coating in their hair when it's just them just not washing their hair fully. So you just want to keep that in mind. I'm gonna massage my scalp. I'll just use a little bit more of the Detangling Spray. So when I start combing through, so this is how much hair from Detangling. Let me squeeze it up. See how big the ball is. Not that much hair. Keep in mind that your hair sheds about 70 strands a day. Like I said, it's been tucked away for a good 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. My hair feels really good. I'm gonna throw this into a ponytail until tomorrow, and I'm gonna get started. Let me just walk you through the products I'm gonna be using. So I'm going to be using the detoxifying shampoo. Yes, it looks like the clarifying shampoo, but to give a clear example is that the clarifying shampoo is more focused on the scalp and cleansing the scalp, while this one is more focused on getting rid of buildup and anything else that will keep your hair from being, that keeps your hair oily, and it will help get rid of all that stuff. And I'm going to see tomorrow how it holds up. This shoots out white and this one shoots out a bluish purple. I'm gonna see if I'm going to be committing to this, to use it at least twice a month, and we'll see. But I think anytime when I'm gonna do my protein ritual, I think I'm gonna use a clarifying shampoo. So I think this is gonna be every other wash. So we'll see how it adjusts. And then on here, I'm going to be using the oil ritual. I never did a hot oil treatment. Oh, I love how this scalp refreshing spray feels on my scalp right now. It feels like I'm getting like a deep tissue massage on my scalp. But anyways, I like how this is colored. You can see how much that you have in here. The lower it gets, the lighter it gets at the top, as you can see. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but anyways, it says if you have fine hair, you're gonna do 0.5 ounces, and for medium to thick hair, anywhere between 1 to 2 ounces. I'm gonna try with just 1 ounce, and I'm gonna put it into this applicator. Like I said, you can get the bundle and it'll come together. And it has some measurements unlike the rice and rolls shaken vessel, but it has the numbers up to I think 6 ounces. So even if you want to use this to measure out the other, the shaken vessel, you can use this instead of using a bottle of water, but this gives you measurements. Like I said, I'm going to be using up to right here. I want to see if this is going to be too much or too little, and I'm going to be able to apply it to my scalp, my strands, and to sections, and just take it from there. So I'll catch up with you in the morning, and I'll let you know what my honest thoughts are.